Boarding in progress.
Hey guys, welcome back to Chaney's TCG store. Today I have a guest in this channel. It's called The White Mexican. We had recently just started talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Just because we have similar interests, and we're both extremely interested in the market watch side of things. So we figured that we would kind of come together and talk about our passion, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! And go over some cards that we've been looking at on the market. So without further ado, we can go ahead and get into the market watch. And the first card that I have for you is Dynamorphia Etheresia. I know we have talked about Dynamorphia as an archetype for a little while now, and I know a lot of people are excited for this deck and with the support that's coming further down the line. But when I had talked about this Starlight Rare around a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, it was around $95, and we were seeing it spike up towards 130 and then bottoming out at 150. And then, yeah, so it's gone up quite a bit in price from when we last talked about it. And I think also the secret rare is also up about $2. So if this was a deck that you wanted to play, I would consider getting this now, then, sooner than later, because this is from Battle of Chaos. So we're not going to see any reprints from this set until the 2023 Megatins. So I would just keep that in mind. If this is a deck that you want to try out, you might want to grab it sooner than later. But that's all I have for this card. And we're going to move on to the next card, which is Frightfur Kraken. And this card is like pretty much your boss monster for Frightfurs. And in the past, I guess over the last couple of years, I've noticed this card kind of fluctuates between $12 to $20. And right now it's quite low at around $7 a piece for the light play first editions, and then bottoming out towards $8 for the near mint first edition. And if you don't know what this card does, it's basically like a Borrelsword Dragon for Frightfurs and Fluffles. You basically get to attack twice in a turn. And it's a short print secret rare out of Fusion Enforcers. And it's also a solo print, so there's not a lot of copies out there for this card. So with that being said, we kind of know where these solo print secret rares tend to go. And if this gets any sort of hype whatsoever, it's definitely going to skyrocket to at least $10, but probably more towards 15 or 20, where it has been in the past. So if this is something you're interested in, I think that it's definitely a great card to pick up, and I think that it looks amazing. But yeah, so just keep your eye on that card if that's something you would be interested in. Next is Bahamut Shark, coming out of Abyss Rising. This is the original print, secret rare, but it does have a couple of other printings. I wanted to highlight this card because we do have water support coming later this year. And if you have seen what this card does, it basically is just like a turbo for rank 4 water monsters to get your Totally Awesome out. And that's basically all people really play it for. But it looks like the prices on this have been trending up over the last little while. And for the light play first editions, it's going for around $34. And then for near mint, we're bottoming out towards $40. If you want this version, I think that it will probably continue to go up for the next foreseeable future. I don't think it's going to get another reprint. It just wouldn't really make sense, and there's not really a set they can reprint it in unless it is in the actual legendary, or not legendary, but the water support set that we're getting later this year. But I just kind of highly doubt that they would. But regardless, this is the first edition printing, so this is not really going to be affected by reprints unless they were going to do like a higher rarity reprint, like a OTS Ultimate Rare or something along those lines. But with that being said, if you do want a copy of this card, but you don't want to invest this heavily into it, it's definitely an option to get the OTS Super Rare, which is down quite a bit in price from where it was in the last year. It's around, we're going to click into it because it's with filters, it's not showing up, but it is around $3.50 to $4, if I am correct. So yeah, around $3.70 to $4. And I think honestly, if you weren't going to get the secret rare first edition, this is probably the version I would go with. The only other printing is a premium gold rare, And there is a little bit of debate on whether people like those or not. I'm personally not a fan, and I think the OTS Supers are always just a solid investment, especially at this price range, being about 10% of what the first edition secret rare is. So if you're just a player and this is a card that you'd be interested in playing, I think it's an amazing buy. Next is Shooting a Riser Dragon. This version in particular is a Shonen Jump magazine promo, ultra rare. It does have one super rare reprint. We'll look and see real quick. I can't remember what set it's out of, but I'm pretty sure it was a special edition promo card. But it's out of Dark Neostorm, and it is a special edition promo card. That one's going for a market price of $2.20. But the highest rarity is definitely the ultra rare from as the magazine promo. These magazines currently aren't really, you're not going to be able to replenish the copies that are here other than what's already out there on the market. So, as far as investment wise, I think that this is a great card to get at this price point at around $13, because we have seen it bought out recently more towards the 20 mark. And if you don't know what this card does, it's basically a Foolish Burial for monster cards. So like right now in competitive play, we're seeing people using this to dump Fairy Tale Snow to the graveyard. So just really, really powerful. And it's also a tuner synchro monster, which is really, really good because you can dump whatever monster you want to the graveyard and then synchro this into something else. So this card is just really extremely powerful right now. And it's about $8 down from where it was in the recent months. So great time to get into this card if you want to. I don't know that we'll see any reprints in the near future. It's really kind of hard to tell with these things. But yeah, I would get it sooner than later as well. Moving on, we're going to talk more about some like older cards that you could put in your collection. This one is from Magic Ruler. It's the Forceful Sentry. I was looking at this earlier this week and noticed that there's some really affordable copies on the market. Right now, it looks like I'm going to actually update this because this is saying 17, but this down here is saying 25. But it's around $16 for the light play first edition. Let me check these filters real quick just to make sure. Okay, it looks like it actually has gone up throughout the course of the day then, because earlier this was 16. But the near mints bottom out at 34 to 35. And then after that, it's at $54. And then as you can see, it quickly goes up after that. If this is something that you're interested in, I think that it's a great long-term hold. I don't think it's something that's going to necessarily skyrocket in price in the next coming months. But I think if you're a collector, this is like kind of a pretty good price to get in at. So I would keep your eye on it. It definitely probably won't be this cheap again in the foreseeable future, just because it has kind of dipped from what it was. But yeah, it's just a Magic Ruler card, first edition, that still has a Magic stamp on it, versus like the spell ruler cards that don't. They say spell card. So there's just a limited amount of these out there, and they're just going to get rare and rare as time goes on. Moving on, I kind of wanted to cover DD Crow. So recently we've seen hand traps kind of getting bought out in just about every category. Recently it's been Ghost Spell and Ghost Ogre. And Ash Blossom, of course, has been extremely expensive for a long time. But as for DD Crow, it actually is a really good, I think it's actually the first hand trap in the game. I could be wrong. But it deals with a lot of issues that kind of come up in the game today still. And because of just the general trend with hand traps on the market, and because this card can be pretty powerful, it's low in all of its listings, especially the holo listings. But if you were going to pick a version that would be a great investment, I think that my favorite version would probably be the Ultimate Rare, which for the lightly played first edition version of the Ultimate Rare is going for $200, and the near mint first edition is going for $250. Which is up quite a bit from what it's been in the past. I think I picked up a first edition light play DD Crow for around $140 about a year ago. So that tells you a little bit with how kind of the price history has gone. But this is the DD Crow from Dual Terminal 5. It is a common, but it does have the shatter foil, which looks pretty nice. Obviously, from being a dual terminal card, these are extremely limited. They're not in print anymore. Even though we did get some reprints of dual terminal cards in the Hidden Arsenal set that we just got, this was not one of them. But these for light play is going for $550, and near mint is going for $7, which really isn't bad when you consider how old this card is, and there really only being around 30 listings left. So if you want a version of DD Crow, I think this is a great version to get. But like I said, there are plenty of good versions to get. I personally, my favorite is going to be the Ultimate Rare, of course. I think everybody's would be. There is a Starlight Rare version as well, but personally, it's more expensive than the original print. So I just don't understand why you would want to get that versus the Ultimate Rare. But if that's what your favorite version is, I understand. But ultra rares are going for around $250 to $3 from Legendary Collection Kaiba. We also have dual Devastator ultra rares coming in around the same price. However, if you were going to pick an ultra rare, I would go with the Legendary Collection Kaiba. It's just older and they had better print quality. Dual Devastator kind of had a lot of issues with print quality, so I would stay away from that if you can. It also has a Speed Duel ultra rare, but that one's low in listings. I'm personally not the biggest fan of Speed Duel cards, just because I don't really like the Speed Duel print that it has over the text. But if you're playing Speed Duels, it would be nice to kind of have a card that you can play at both formats. So I understand why that one's up in price as well. But then we also have these two super rares that I think are really clean, and they're also quite old. But those are around the same price as the ultra rares as well. But moving on, I also wanted to cover Magical Merchant from Champion Pack 5 Super Rare. This card's down from where it has been in the last year. The last time I checked in on it, I think was actually on one of my market watches a couple months back, and the light plays were going for around $250, and now they're going for around $199, going up to $220. The near mints, I believe, are $250, but we're going to check real quick. Actually $285 for near mints, and basically this card's just played in goats. It's not like a card that you would play in the current format, but it's an iconic card that's played at 2 copies in most goat decks, at least goat control decks, and it's an insane card. If you wanted to invest in an old Champion Pack Super Rare, I think for the price that you're getting this card, it's definitely one of the better ones. The only other one that I like a lot is Magician of Faith Super Rare from Champion. It's one of the Champion Packs. I can't remember which one, but that one is like $900 now. So, I mean, it's up to you what you want to invest your money into, but I just wanted to point this out, that this is relatively low to where it has been in the recent past. And next, I wanted to hand it off to the White Mexican to kind of go over some of the cards that he picked out for today. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to him.
Good evening, Yugitubers. So thank you so much for allowing me to be on the platform today. So this is going to be a new style video that we're going to do. Chaney's TCG store and me share a lot of similar interests and ambitions on the YouTube platform. So we're very excited that we have this opportunity to bring you this collaboration market watch, this combined content, and I'm hoping that as time goes on, we can continue to build and reach out to other Yugitubers with similar interests and just continue to build the community that we're all working towards here. So tonight, for my segment of the showcasing, I want to start with Abyss Dweller. This is the highest rarity as the ultimate rare, down on OTS Tournament Pack 13. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the near mint copies first. Looks like starting market prices are going to be around 57 bones, if we can just scroll down a little bit. So onesie twosie stacks are starting roughly around 55, 56 range. It continues to trickle up value after that. And it looks like that there is, if you scroll into the bottom, about 3 pages of availability. And then if we really quick gloss over the French one really quick, just because I want to see the a million French goodness really quick. There's a French one. I have a strain obsession with European prints, so I think that's really, really cool. I don't know. Oh, if you actually just go back and if you just highlight it, it actually, well, that's fine as well. So, I don't know. That reminds me like Resident Evil. That's really cool. I didn't know it looked like that in French. So, if you guys want to get an a million French variant, it looks very, very nice. The foiling on this is just incredible on this. But if you just want to go back, we're going to go back to check the bulk prices for near mint. Give them a little showcase of the bulk prices for near mint. Again, this is the more pricier variant, as it's the ultimate, it's the highest rarity. There's another variant that I'd like to dip into shortly here, but we're going to go ahead and give you the full lineup for this. And then it looks like the first stacks are available at 61 plus for near mint, and then there's a couple of variants that trickle up after that. So interesting enough. I think that's fine. We're gonna go just really quick switch over to lightly played. I just want to see the price and the price differentiation between near mint and lightly played. You can just take off the 4 stack and let's even see, because this is a solid one investment. I would personally love to invest in multiple copies, but it is a quite pricier end card. So, and it apparently near mints are more affordable, roughly around the same price as lightly played. So interesting enough, that should be fine. If you want to go up and change variants, so next we're going to be looking at the OG prints from Abyss Rising, I believe it was. So the OG print supers from Abyss Rising. This is a really amazing set. White Mexican myself, I'm personally a giant Mermaid Atlantean fan. I've loved that deck archetype core for quite some time, so I'm a little bit biased, but I also have a big fascination with water cards in general. Water cards are pretty special to me. I think they're really cool. So this is another thing I wanted to mention on this is just a really great generic rank 4. Anyone can run this in their deck, and it holds things off for a couple turns, and it's really, really cool. If you want to scroll up to the artwork really quick, there is something I wanted to mention about the artwork. So the artwork is really fantastic. I love the artwork. If you guys actually played Tomb Raider 3, this is going to really showcase my age here, but if you guys go back in the 90s, if you ever played PS1 Tomb Raider 3, there's a level where she's like going through this cave, and there's like, I don't know if it was like an alligator or a crocodile, and it's like hiding in this like water in this cave, and it creeps me out, and that's what I think about. So I mean, that's kind of like a nostalgia thing for the artwork, but all around an amazing, great aesthetics, a really great artwork. I think Konami did a fantastic choice on the artwork, and it's just an amazing generic rank 4 effect. If you scroll down to the near mints, you can just do near mint lightly played just to make it a little bit quicker, so we can gauge those. And then, so yeah, it looks like it's not even 2 bones for the onesie twosie stacks. It's about 2 bones, a little phantom over 2 bones for copies of first edition original print supers, which again, I mean, these are still just very much super rares, but they are the original prints, which brings a lot of really great history, merit, and collectability purposes to this, in my personal opinion. And then if you want to just switch over to stacks, is that the only stack that is available, or?
Yeah, I believe it's just that lightly played stack, but we will check just to make sure it hasn't like updated from earlier.
Sweet, because this, again, it's so affordable. It blows my mind that this card is so insanely affordable, and it's such a great set too. That core set, Best Rising, was really, really an awesome set. So yeah, Super Games Inc. looks like is holding it down with a playset, 1 single stack of first edition lightly played for around 223. So interesting enough, if you change to all versions really quick, so there is an alternative super rare from Secret Forces. Now again, this isn't going to hold value for collectability purposes. The ultimate rare and the original Abyss Rising are going to be really only ones that are going to hold substantial value in the long run. But the Secret Forces variant is a mirrored super rare, which is very, very affordable, and that does have plenty of bulk prices available. So for playability purposes, if you guys just want an alternative super rare hollow foil, which looks pretty nice, I really advocate for this set. I love Secret Forces. Secret Forces was the original set that we got the high rarity of Necrosses, which was a really popular deck. And there's some really great stuff in general. I think it's a really underrated set. So if you guys have time, I highly recommend you guys take a little bit to poke around Secret Forces. There's some really good stuff. But this does have multiple bulk prices of near mint lightly played first editions all day long. So it's a healthy alternative if you guys want to use that. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up on this one, and then we're going to go back to the next tab over. And this is what we're going to be showcasing. We're going to be showcasing an Alien Invasion of 404 arrow page on this formatting.
I don't even remember what that card was, but we can circle back. Do you know what it was? The second one?
That's fine. We'll just go back to it. It might be lost forever. It may not. The time will tell. But we'll circle back. That's fine. So the next is gonna be this card. I always have a difficult time pronouncing it. How did you say the people of the masses like to say it?
So I would think you would say Abyssalacia.
Okay, so fancy. It sounds like European or something, but I just call this card Salad. This is like officially Salad. That's like my name for this card. This card has 2 printings, both ultra rares. This is the original print from Dark Neostorm. Unfortunately, they made it in ultra rare. I totally believe that this card was deserving of a secret rare slot in this set. This card is really, really great. Again, I'm a little biased because I really love Atlantean Mirmil, but this card is really great. It has awesome artwork, has really killer effects, and the best thing about this is it's not $95. It's actually extremely affordable. If you want to go down and just start off with bulk prices, like right off the bat, because this is insanely affordable. It's like well under a bone. Around a bone range for even first edition near mints, which is very incredible because again, Atlantean Mirmil is such a fan favorite deck, and I feel like a lot of players like it's just a Finanza shotgun deck. A lot of people like it. So, and this is a really good card. I know personally in my copies I run 2 or 3 of these myself, so I think it's a needed card. I really like it a lot. So you can see starting market price even first edition stacks is under a bone. There's a fat stack of 13 there from Quality Cards LLC. And it looks like there's a couple pages, is it? If you scroll down to the bottom, there's a couple of pages available, so 2 pages available, and that's for stacks. So, again, if you want to just go up and click alternative versions, I think I made a mistake. I think it's a super rare, not a mirrored ultra rare. It was one of the Megatins donned a super rare reprint. So my apologies, that was my mistake. It was a super rare. So, again, the original print is so affordable. You wouldn't even have to worry. We don't even need to showcase the super rare because it's pretty much the same price. It's a little bit more affordable, but the original print first edition ultras are just so insanely affordable, even in bulk prices. It really just renders this one useless, in my personal opinion. So next is going to be Moon Mirror Shield. There's a couple variants of this, 2 rares and I believe a common, if I'm not mistaken. The original rare is going to be dawning from the very infamous set Cross Souls. This set had a lot of great history merit on it. If I'm remembering correctly, a great history merit on this as far as the Konami. This is the last set I believe that had. I actually know what I'm thinking. It was the last set that had ultimate rares in the core set before Konami changed the card count and the ratios. I know like Breakers of Shadow was the first set that started donning supers in every booster pack, but Cross Souls was like the last core set we had here in the TCG that you could actually get ultimates and ghosts within one core set. Secrets, ghosts, ultimates, and then they completely just cut it off and switched ultimates to OTS, which was an unfortunate choice, but they have their own business ploys and they have probably their reasonings for such things. But so really great history merit. There's a lot of awesome other cards that came out of the set, such as Ghost Ogre, as it's the original print secret rare, which is really great for collectability purposes. But naturally, this is an anti-meta card. This card just screams anti-meta. It's a staple in anti-meta. It's kind of where it grew its race to fame. But I think this card is a lot more diverse. You can ideally slap this in anything you want. It's a relatively difficult card to get over without back row destruction or removal, but if you do, obviously, it's just going to be a simple 1-for-1. Artwork is all right. Again, there's just 2 rares and a common, so it's not really for like aesthetics or like being a high rarity or collectible card. I just think it's a really great card. I'm a big fan of Shadal's, and I love to whip this out with Winda. This combined with Winda is pretty rough because Winda can't be destroyed by card effects. The downside to Winda is she's kind of she only got a 22 beat, so it's pretty easy to run over, but you slap this with it, and it's pretty nice. And I appreciate this card in general. It's just, I'm a personal big fan of anti-meta, so again, probably a little bit of bias on that, but I think this is just a really underrated card. It's very affordable, though, so if you want to just go, is this already stacks? It looks like there's some Italian stacks of 53 there, but if you want to just switch over stacks so we can just showcase the English variants for first editions, lightly played near mint. It's very affordable. Again, it's just a rare. I think that this would look cool in a secret rare, but that's probably just wishful thinking. I feel like I'm probably like one of like the only people that really care about this card. It's pretty great though. It's very affordable. I mean, like, English copies are starting at like just a Phantom over a Bone. There's 6 near mint first editions there, and then 4 and 5, and there's several stacks available. So it's really not really a matter of it being rationed on the market, but it's just a really cool card, a side card that I'd like to shine some light on. Next is going to be Gravekeeper's Commandant, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm a huge Gravekeepers fan, so love Shaddolls, love Dark World, love Anti-Meta, love Zombies, and Shaddolls is one of my all-time favorite old-school deck types. I'm borderline obsessed with Egyptian stuff. I love Egyptian-styled stuff. And Commandant is actually a play off of the Egyptian god Anubis, which is very, very, very awesome looking, very cool looking in my personal opinion. It's got a lot of grit to it. We're going to be looking at the Force of the Breaker Ultimate Rares, which of course is donned as a rare from the core set and then as the high rarity of Ultimate Rares. This is the highest rarity that we have for this card. Very much an older card. Near mint first edition market prices, it looks like it's going to be 160 bones for a onesie stack, and then it's going to jump to 175 for that 2 stack. And then it looks like the only stack, there's only 4 listings, so I'm assuming it's probably the only stack available is that 175 for that stack of 3. So pretty pricey, but also very great rarity. If you want to scroll up, let's take a look at the artwork really quick. I'm sure you guys are all very familiar. This is a very well-known card, but really great artwork, really great rarity. I personally have first edition Ultimates myself, and you'll never catch me dead playing with them. I love high rarity stuff. I collect it, I trade it, I buy it, I sell it, I do all that stuff. But there is actually ultra rare holofoils from Legendary Collections 3, I believe, and those are actually the ones that actually run in my personal builds for duels and gaming. But as far as the Ultimate Rare, it's very much a collector's card in my personal opinion. Force of the Breaker is extremely old. It's got really great artwork. It's high rarity of Ultimate Rare, like my goodness. And it's a really good card in general. It just digs out your Necrovalley. It doesn't necessarily have to technically be specifically just in Gravekeepers, but obviously that's what's naturally made for. So is there an option, is there any lightly played really quick before we move on to the ultra rare variants? Is there any option to do the lightly played, because I think we just saw the near mint so far. So if you guys are curious for the lightly played price range, it looks like it goes down quite significantly. The first English copy is going to be 80. Looks like there's a European Italiano there for 70, and then 80 for that first edition. Is there any stacks? Can you just check over to see if there's stacks available for the lightly plays, or is it only for the near mints? So 120 looks like it's the most affordable price point for stacks of lightly played. So, and then 2 pages availability on those stacks. So a pretty good amount, but again, a very pricey card, very sought after. Again, I think Gravekeepers is a really big fan favorite deck, and it's very old. I mean, this goes all the way back to Generation 1. Pharaonic Guardian was when the original Gravekeeper cards came out. So really great stuff. If you want to bump over really quick to the ultra rare, so if you just type in Gravekeeper's Commandant,
we'll take a look.
So there's a couple of variants, and all across the board, this card is worth pretty good money. Like, there's a common from, I think, Structure Deck Merrick. There's a rare variant from the original core set. So yeah, there's the rare, the ultimate rare from Force of Breaker. There's the Structure Deck Merrick commons, which are apparently worth a couple bones too. And if you want to just scroll over to the Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World ultra rares, so ideally, if you're not going to drop pay the fat price tag of the ultimate rares, the next runner-up is of course going to be the ultra rare, donning out of the very infamous Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World. You guys know probably all about this set. I talk about it all the time. I advocate for it. I really believe in it. There's some of the most infamous cards and the most amazingly aesthetically pleasing rarities in this. So looks near mint first editions look like they're roughly around 10 bones for near mint first editions, and then is that with, so that's with lightly played too. So it's very strange when this happens, but it happens every once in a while. You get near mints before the lightly playeds on the listing. So is there any stacks available for those? For the first editions? Yeah, you can just do first edition stacks. So this is going to be, significantly more affordable and still very aesthetically pleasing. Legendary Collections 3, again, like, they did very, very well. Even with the Supers and Ultras, ideally the Secrets are probably like the cream of the crop from the set. But the Supers and Ultras, they did very, very well. They came off very well, good quality. and they look fantastic. I'm not a big fan of ultra rares by any means. I kind of bag on ultra rares all the time, but there's a small pocket of the market that I really appreciate, such as Duelist Saga, DT ultra rares, Generation 1 first edition ultra rares, Shonen Jump stuff, and then of course legendary collections, more specifically for 3-4 and legendary collection Kaiba, which are really great. And it looks like for stacks, so it's about the same. It's, you know, about 10 bones plus that bone shipping. How many listings was there? So, and then it goes to about 14 and then 12, and then there's that 5 bone shipping for that 7. So really not a lot of availability. Definitely a good value card in general. But all around great alternative as opposed to the ultimate rare. They're both great. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to Shadal Winda, I believe, is going to be our next card. And I remember now, if really quick, if you want to open up a tab for Magical Musketeer Max was actually the other one, now I remember, which I love. Right. So apparently we've been doing some research together. Me and Chaney's TCG store have been doing some research, and we actually found, so I didn't know this, he's very much more into like the meta side of things. I do appreciate the meta, but I'm not kind of knees deep in it. So apparently there's been a little bit of play from the Shadal's extra deck fusions that have been blended with some of the newer decks that have been playing. So the price trends have been increasing, specifically for certain fusions, Winda being amongst them. And what we wanted to showcase for you guys tonight was actually going to be the super rare alternative arts from the actual Shadal Showdown structure deck. It looks like starting market price for this is it already up to 8 bones? Is that the new market price for these, or 5? So it looks like some of these. It
is, but these are I usually try to go by like verified, but okay. So I guess there are some 5, but your first verified is $7 to $8.
Okay. And then so that's going to be that kind of for like those, and then let's just go ahead and switch over to stacks. I know I see a first stack there of 3 for 7, and it looked like it jumped to 8 for the other ones. But again, so Structure Deck Showdown was not that old. This was, I think this was a 2020 release, if I'm not mistaken. And this is just, it just goes to show, again, I'm a big advocate for investing in sealed, emphasis on the sealed first edition, and again, emphasis on the first edition sealed structure decks. It's fantastic to hold, not for every structure deck, but in general, it's about the year mark when sealed structure decks tend to articulate some pretty significant value as they get rare on the market. And Shadal Showdown was just, it's a fan favorite deck. It's really splashable. It's really blendable. There's a lot of amazing things that go into this deck, and it has a really big fan following. It's just a fun deck to play in general. The mechanics behind it and kind of the systems are really great. So these are stacks. It looks like this is it. So it's just these 4 listings for both prices here on this platform. 1 page. So starting market price, just stack of 8 near mint for first edition for 8. 8 for 8, and then 7, and then it goes up to almost a phantom under 10 bones. If you scroll up really quick, so again, this is the alternative artwork. One thing that I always thought was really special about this is the only way you could get the alternative artworks for Winda and Construct was through the structure deck, until one of the Megatins reprinted the prismatic variant of Construct, which looks gorgeous. I don't regret that they reprinted it and kind of took a little bit of that value away from the structure deck. But Winda is still holding on. Winda is still very much, the structure deck is the only variant, the only way that you have access to this variant. I personally, I normally don't like alternative artworks, but I'm actually a big fan. I actually do really appreciate this alternative artwork. It's actually the better artwork in my personal opinion. I do like the secret rares as well, but this is the only pathway to get the alternative artwork, which is the super rare from the structure deck. Really quick, let's go to all versions and let's go ahead and take a peek at if you guys like ultra rares. I believe the original ultra rare, or the original print, was an ultra rare from Duelist Alliance.
The Duelist Alliance, and it looks like across the board though, like everything's pretty much gone.
Okay. So, I totally understand if you guys are in, just like, very much like me, I love, original print stuff, original print first edition. But seeing that, I really do like the alternative artwork from the structure deck, and that's the only way you can get it, and the secret rare is, it's secret rare. It's gorgeous. I take secret rare over ultra rare almost any day. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Shadows in Valhalla secret rare variants, because ideally I think that being the highest rarity would be the most sought after. Again, it's not the original print, but it is a higher rarity, and it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing in my personal opinion. So look, it's like starting market price for this is going to be around 8 bones, almost about 8 bones for lightly played first edition copies. And then near mint's going to go to about 850. Looks like that 42 stack on near mint is the first stack that's really available, readily available from Best of Brooklyn. Near mint first edition copies are about 9 bones. So again, not like a I would say it's a significant increase. It's definitely something to take note of. It's not something like earth-shattering, but it's definitely a significant increase to take notice of. Again, Wind is just an amazing card in general, and Shadal's is just such an amazing deck. It's no real surprise, but it's obviously being blended more into like the metagame here or there. So I think that's kind of an explanation of why the trending has been going the way that it has been going. So really great. So you guys should check it out if you guys are interested. And let's go ahead and move on to our last card that we're going to be showcasing tonight, which is going to be Magical Musketeer Max. Now this is still to the day a solo print ultra rare dawning out of Battles of Legends Heroes Revenge. Now again, I'm not very much a fan of ultra rare, and unfortunately they did make the decision to print this as an ultra rare, but it's all we have here in the TCG. Again, this is a solo print. This has pretty cool artwork. Again, I really love Magibullets a lot. Magical Musketeers, they're really great. The sheer uniqueness of their mechanics and their systems and how they run, how you can activate your magics and your traps from your hand is really cool. I think that's very unique. There's almost little to no decks that have that mechanic, which is really cool, and access to that. So I think that's really fun. It's really powerful, very unique to this deck, and this is an amazing level 1. This supports the deck really well, and it's just a really fun deck. I think it's an extremely underrated deck. It's not like a super, you're not going to go and like top of nationals or do anything crazy with this deck, but it's very splashable, very blendable, and it's just a fun deck in general. And this card's great. And the best thing about this card, it's very affordable. So if you just start out with near mint lightly played first edition stacks for bulk prices, that's all I'm going to show for this card, because this, again, just like Salad, it's extremely affordable and there's plenty on the market. So I mean that there's really no reason to really showcase anything else besides the lightly played and better for the bulk prices, because again, I mean, it's pretty much like a bone, not even 2 bones for bulk pricing for this card. It's insanely affordable, and it is a solo print again, which is holds some really great value for that. I think that this would be really awesome to see a secret rare reprint. If you want to just scroll up really quick, I think this card would look great in a secret rare. Again, it's pretty unfortunate that they made it ultra rare, but again, it's all we have right now. So Magic Bullets is really great, and I just wanted to shine some light, put some love on this card, because again, just like Salad, I think it was something that's really overlooked, and it's just a really great card, and it's a really strong asset to the deck type in general. So that is all I have for you tonight. I'm going to go ahead and switch it back over to Chaney's TCG store to do his closing remarks, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up for you guys tonight.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you for everybody that's continue to watch the videos and support the channel, and thanks for tuning in today. And thanks to you, White Mexican, for joining me today for the market watch. I certainly enjoyed having you, and would like to see you, again on some of these market watches. But with that aside, that's all I really have for you guys today. I'm going to hand it back to the White Mexican to say his closing remarks, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yes, thank you so much for everyone for watching these videos. Yu-Gi-Oh has been part of my life for several years. I know it's been part of Chaney TCG's store for many years. We share a lot of the similar interests and compassions, and we're actually on the hunt. We're looking for people with similar minds, combined ambitions, to help work our channels through and kind of combine our ambitions here. So I really hope to build a community. It's very much, we share interests in building the community and really trying to create a safe space where people can come. And it doesn't matter if you're a collector or you are an investor or a meta player or an old school player or whatever it is. We really want to open up an opportunity for a lot of people to kind of come together and just have a place and have like a multifunctional area where people can just come together. So the community aspect is extremely important to us. Thank you so much for investing your time in these videos. Yu-Gi-Oh is an amazing hobby. There's so many amazing things that go into this hobby, and it's just fun. Life is boring without hobbies, so it's very important to have hobbies that you love. The world is a crazy place. Please remember to be a brother, be a sister, be a friend. Take care of each other, love each other, respect each other. And that is pretty much all I have for you guys tonight. Again, I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh investments. This has been a combined / collaboration market watch showcasing with Chaney's TCG store and the White Mexican, and we will see you guys in the next video.